Hey everybody, Jerry here. I just want to spend a few minutes showing you the 75-gallon Cypress Knee skate that Tom did for me. It's coming along pretty well. The growth is slow but steady, and you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't mind it. It's actually very low light, so it's actually not that surprising. And you know me, I'm not Tom, so I'm not the greatest gardener, but I'm pretty happy with it. Things are healthy, and that's mostly what I concern myself with. You can see the water is nice and clear. I'm using 3 different LED strips, 2 of the same on either end, and then a slightly narrow one in the middle. So altogether, where the down-oil is here, that's the most par that I have at the substrate. It's about 55. Over here, where this little Araguay is, it's maybe 50, and it starts to head down over into the low 30s over here where the dorsal is, right? And there's one of my later Caras, there's another one. There's about 75 par where that Java fern is, about 125 to 140 up at the surface. So that Ludwigi is getting a lot right now. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it has pretty decent color though. There's some more Java getting, again, about mid-tank, getting about 75. The Pennyword's probably getting over 100 and totally liking it. You can see the substrate is pretty bare. I pulled out the hair grass. It was doing well, but I really didn't like it. So, and with the lower par, I think I'm going to ask Tom maybe for some of his Glosso, just a small sod, and then I would just put a little bit, here, and kind of let it spread over here. I'm going to let the down oil, come out a little bit if it will, and let that spread where it will. I'd also like to get a little bit of Araguay going, and I'll eventually shorten this up, but I'm liking how it looks, so health-wise and color-wise. I don't know if you can see that. So some not bad color on it. It's a pretty plant though, and it's getting healthier all the time, and that's really what I care about. You can see down at, you probably can't, but as you get in, you can see there's some, I never used to get growth like that at the very bottom of the stems. What would happen is they would lose all their leaves at the bottom. And now you can see I'm getting some branching. See there? And then that plant there, you can see a couple, and one in the back, see there? And then way down there you can see another little bud. There's a couple of the checkerboard cichlids there. You can see here the Java trident, for the most part. There's a little bit, this is the Windelove, I'm sorry, with some bovitis in the back, some pennywort, a tiny bit of trident there. Here's a bunch of Java trident with a little bit of needle leaf thrown in, and some more bovitis. And then the down oil and the Ludwigia. I have some Hygro Araguaya. I have one tiny stem there and one there, and this has always done well for me, so I'm hoping that this will take in this tank and spread out. I might use it to replace the taller Ludwigia, which is nice, but the Araguaya, it needs trimming even less often. So there's a nice shot of one of my later Cara. And they're not really, actually I think it was this one that was chewing up one of this down oil here in the front, which I was none too pleased with, and it might just be that they don't like plants where they like to lay their eggs, so a lot of times it's just moving, housekeeping to get stuff out of their line of sight. And that's it. Other than that, I did a big water change yesterday. Here's my surface ripple for those people interested in that. Right, you can see, definitely there's some movement. I personally like that. It makes me feel safer with injecting CO2, that there is more oxygen should something go wrong, because, stuff happens, especially using CO2. I've gas fish, and I know almost everybody has, whether they admit it or not. So here you can see the ripple from underneath. It does a nice job of, like I said, I personally like the look, and keeps the surface nice and clean, and that's about it. So, I need to get a nice schooling fish in there. There's just the later Cara and the checkerboards, and I think I still have a male Pocatode, the Mega Duper Super Red that I had from last year or something. You know, but other than that, tank's doing pretty well. Water's nice and clear. The sump's doing a good job. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, the growth sure could be more spectacular, but it's pretty low light and it's healthy. There's no algae on it. You know, there is some BBA here, but that's pretty old, and I'm you know, I don't see any new, and you don't see any really on the plants or on the leaves, and that's mostly what I'm looking at. So all the new growth is good, algae free, it's well formed. Yeah, it could be bigger. I guess the downright could be much bigger compared to a lot of people, but it's better than I've ever been able to do it before, so I'm pretty happy with it, and you know, feeling that at least I'm on the right track. You know, so I'm just adjusting CO2 tiny bit upwards, up about every 2 weeks, you know, and being really patient there, and that's working out pretty well. So hopefully, you know, and there's no fish stress that I can see, you know, but we'll see. All right, later.